surprise outbreak. Given, as you heard from the introduction, that I have been around for a while and have had the opportunity and the privilege and the pleasure of serving in 5 administrations, I thought I would bring that perspective to the topic today, is the issue of pandemic preparedness. And if there's one message that I want to leave with you today, based on my experience, and you'll see that in a moment, is that there is no question that there will be a challenge, the coming administration, in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak. And I hope by the end of my relatively short presentation, you will understand why the history of the last 32 years that I've been the director of NIAID will tell the next administration that there's no doubt in anyone's mind that they will be faced with the challenges that their predecessors were faced with. So for those who think that infectious diseases is gone, there's so many people who've made foolhardy statements not knowing at the time that they made them. I usually show a quote from an old Surgeon General or an old pundit in infectious disease. So I thought I'd pull this one out from Sir Macfarlane Burnet, who was actually a Nobel Prize winning immunologist, who made the statement, as many did, to write about infectious diseases is almost to write of something that has passed into history. The most likely forecast about the future of infectious diseases is that...
Now, how did Fauci or however you pronounce his name know that this was going to happen? Is he psychic? He sure isn't. It's because he's on the board of directors for this whole thing that's going on. He's just not telling the public, and he's keeping us in the dark. Here's an executive summary of actions for leaders to take. And if we look at page 10, right here, we can see right there where it says, the United Nations, including World Health Organization, conducts at least 2 system-wide training and simulation exercises, including one for covering the deliberate release of a lethal respiratory pathogen. So this isn't by coincidence. He was psychic. He was just taking a guess. In the video, you can see he knows exactly what he's talking about, and this is what he's talking about. If we go towards the end, we can actually see that he's on the board of directors, members of the Global Preparedness Monitoring Board. Now, it doesn't say if they did or did not release a lethal pathogen in this report here, but if we look at CDC, Center for Disease Control and Prevention, this is for laboratories. Diagnostic testing, updated July 3rd, 2020. CDC has developed 2 laboratory tests that identify SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19. The units of the test will also be used to test for influenza A and B viruses. That is the regular seasonal flu. Testing for all 3 viruses at the same time will provide public health officials with the information they need to help reduce the spread of viruses in the community while conserving resources that are in short supply. CDC influenza, this is their newest laboratory test for the COVID, called the CDC influenza SARS-CoV-2 multiplex assay. So we're going to go ahead and click on that one, and this will show us why it's so important. Serves as a single test to diagnose infection caused by one of 3 viruses: SARS-CoV-2, influenza A, and influenza B. So not only the COVID-19, but the regular seasonal flu that, according to Healthline, infects or causes illness in between 8.3 and 49 million people every year since 2010. So they want to increase the testing, because they know that this test will also show positive for the people that have symptoms or a little bit of the virus from the regular seasonal flu. So as long as they keep on testing, we're going to have a lot more cases, but these cases do not necessarily reflect COVID-19.